It's another brief moment in time. We get to see the change on the sidelines. We're shifting twisted bits of technology, shifting, lifting up the little bits of reality. While the clear trips through the space-time, we're surely a randomly sparking the photons around me. Let the light flow from the heat. Yo, when the photons ignite, highlight in you, and you'll know it's the time when we force a change in our minds. A little bit lit us with something in us. It's almost like we something else, autonomous, or maybe perhaps it's that missing piece you need. Perhaps it's that simple message you're searching. Perhaps it's just a different time frame. Us people past the picture in the mainframe. Getting excited, so are the photons. To lemonade so we can change the coupon. Let me raise up. Major bags. Grab the technology. All you hashing your life with that QRs. It doesn't matter. The screen changes perspective. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, everybody. It is me, 3D, and yes, well, you saw the title. I hope you read the title. We are here to change your perspective on, well, holding your financial freedom, basically. So, probably the most common question I get asked about cryptocurrency is simple: how do I hold it? And the ideal of holding something intangible is something it's sometimes difficult way to consider. People, like, they just be like, it's intangible, I can't actually hold it. So, holding cryptocurrency is confusing to some people. Now, normally I break it down like a bank account. You have it, you handle it, you control it. It does freak people out, though. Normally the ones that get confused by the idea of holding something intangible get freaked out by it is you, the bank. So, over the years, I have been asked a ton of questions over various wallet systems, types, hardware wallets, all these different things. And while I don't like trusting new technology, and that also goes with hardware wallets, software wallets, and wallets in general. So, however, I have spoken many times on various hardware wallets, specifically like false ones and whatnot, and normally comparing them to each other, because I don't have real access to any of this hardware wallet technology. And in order to give you real information you might actually need, for one of these devices, I would actually have to get my hands on one. So over the years, I've actually come to many friends over the internet that actually do have a handful of these hardware wallets. And one of my friends, while we were talking, it turns out that they had a handful of what I would call top tier hardware wallets. And since he owns them specifically, I asked him to go ahead and do me a solid, write an article about it, and basically have him go through the steps and processes he had to go through to get his set up. And we went over it a little bit, and so there's a paper that he has really written, and I've just basically watched and helped him make sure terms are. I didn't really do much. He didn't basically at all. So we're going to read over a very well-written article by the mythic 3GXD from X-Twitter and various crypto techs across the globe. Now, when I say that, I mean like across the internet, of course. But what we're going to get into is the secret into getting your next hardware wallet set up. So we're only going to go over basically 4 hardware wallets, or less. Some people might say it's less than 4. But these are the ones in specifically in the article, meaning these are the ones that we were able to get set up with him, and he was able to get set up and ready to go. And so we're using these ones to kind of, maybe if I could start getting more people with hardware wallets to start help me set these up. Because we normally do it over the phone, or we do it over text, or we do it over Telegram. So it's like there's various ways we can do this where I can help people set up a hardware wallet. At the same time, we both learn how to set up a hardware wallet. And that's actually what's going to allow us to do a video like today about hardware wallets. So I do need to go into, I need to thank the network partners, I need to thank the sponsors. So I do want to thank The Organized for teaming up with Bitcoin Live Digital Broadcasting, DB, because Bitcoin Live DB and The Organized is a powerhouse combo. Now I see new heights for both organizations. If you haven't checked out any of The Organized early morning broadcasts for stacks and other topics, then you're missing out, because they seem to be taking off every day with more and more viewers. You can find them on X, Twitter, among other social platforms where you're watching this. Pretty much anywhere you're watching this, you can find them. And I do want to thank today's sponsor, because, yeah, we do have a sponsor. I do want to thank Shieldfolio for sponsoring today's episode from within a quantum bit, as well as the Bitcoin Live DB network. Now, if you haven't seen Shieldfolio, they're like a little black book. They're made from stone paper, so they're fade resistant, tear resistant, and even water resistant. So the little info and secrets you store in this little Shieldfolio will last and survive whatever you throw at it. I personally have a Shieldfolio, and I use it for my website info, crypto, keys, contacts, among other things, in these little black books that are pocket sized to ready to be by your side, regardless of your adventure in real life or online. I actually wrote this thing that I read, and I still can't get it right. But these are actually really awesome little black books. They legitimately stone paper. It is insane technology, and nowadays on their website they have actually more stuff there for you to actually pick and choose from. You can use that QR to jump onto the website right now. We're going to have it available on the bottom of the screen throughout today's episode. But if you remember to put in Bitcoin Live 20 at checkout, you get 20% off your offer there today. All right, I'm going to go ahead and roll them with Rollins, and then we'll jump on into it. Alrighty then, and thank you again, Shieldfolio, for sponsoring today's episode. Whew, I am so confused in my mind at the moment. I was about to say Bitcoin Live. We're on Bitcoin Live. But yes, thank you, Shieldfolio, for today's episode, and I hope to be changing your guys' perspective. And if anything, there was a reason why people had little black books for such a long time. Grab a Shieldfolio today. Bitcoin Live 20% off. Get going. Let's get going. So I got chat going on. So anywhere you're viewing this, there should be a chat thing below you somewhere, and you should be able to say hello. It should pop in and say hello. Now, throughout today's episode, we're gonna have basically QRs to help you follow along, and I am going to start with The Organized, of course. So, welcome into the photon of the greater fourth dimension quantum machine. This is The Organized. I want to point them out to you. You're going to use that QR to scan any of the websites we go to be able to catch up, follow along, or if you're watching afterwards, to find any of the websites and information. They should also be in the description on YouTube if you just want to click and point. But this is The Organized Media. They go live just about almost every morning. Bitcoin, stacking stacks, all sorts of different things. They are your daily hookup for what's digitally popping online. And I do mean that literally. They got some insane stuff going on here every day. There's more here than I can actually point out. We're going to just go more into what we got going on. And as of every episode, we're going to give you a free pre-search query. Now, I did not use this query. I don't ever use these queries. I make these queries to give to you. So that way, if this topic interests you, after today's episode, you can come back. You just go ahead and scrub it back after today's episode. After you watch, scrub it back. Use the QR or the description on YouTube. Go ahead and go to presearch.com and search Boss Hardware Wallets automatically to try to maybe find you one of these hardware wallets, which we will actually give you the links to these hardware wallets later, or a different one if you don't like these ones. Or maybe you just want to learn more about hardware wallets in general. Well, this is going to give it to you. Like, look on my page. The info is already there. So you just got to show up and learn more. And now I need to go ahead and do the catch up because we can't just jump in Yeah, catching up. Okay, so yes, I know. Jokes aside and everything, I do want to talk about a few specific hardware wallets. That is the Cold Card, which is probably one of my favorite Boss hardware wallets. And we have kind of covered the original Cold Card before, and we're gonna specifically cover the Cold Card or the CC's MK4 and the Cold Card SKU. We're going to go over the Open Dime, which is one of my friend's favorite hardware wallets. And I've actually known tons of people that have actually used Open Dime to transfer funds from different areas across the US. And then Sats Card is pretty much the last one we're going to go over. And that's something similar to one that I've actually, my dad uses for his Bitcoin solution. And now you're hearing this, and so we're going over 3 different major types of hardware wallets. These are 2 major brands, and I think all of the hardware wallets we're going to show today also double as cold wallets, which is an offline wallet. So at the end of today's episode, I'm also going to show you guys a live wallet or a hot wallet that I recommend, and a place where most people in the world will be able to use to do some kind of anonymous swapping and stuff like that, quick trades, which a lot of times when people are getting into crypto, they're able to purchase one coin and then they quick trade into the coin they want, and that's perfectly fine. It's all about your entry is how you enter, my friend. Okay, so we're going to go directly into the main article. Let me jump that up. Whoop, there we go. And basically, this is it. This is on Info Meme Power. And when I say meme, it's M-E-M, like memory. So inform them with power. If I just said inform them, it doesn't actually. It just sounds like I'm ending it. Information cutoff. But it says inform EM, so inform power. All right. Okay. So he names his article "Hold Your Financial Freedom with a CoinKite." Now this is where where I got my start too, where I got my title, because this is what we're talking about. We're talking about literally holding one's own financial freedom with cryptocurrency. And to a lot of people, that's going to be weird. That's going to be alien-like, but it's fine. We can get through this. Now here he has this AI image, really nice one actually. And it shows 3 of the main ones we're looking at. The main Cold Card Q, the MK4, and the Open Dime, which we can just assume his Sats card is in his wallet. It makes sense. Okay, so Cold Card is one of the most respected Bitcoin hardware wallets on the market. CoinKite brings, or am I saying that right? Yeah, CoinKite brings it to us. And basically, it's a truly badass device. And if you're looking at your Bitcoin journey more seriously in regards to privacy and security, then Cold Card is an excellent choice. And this is actually one of the reasons why I'm always, recommending Cold Card. It is fast. It is like you can actually build it without buying it, or you can just buy it. Like I've actually seen articles and stuff. We've actually reviewed them before in the past and other episodes and stuff of specifically like wait, what? I'm sorry. Something just jumped on my screen. On my phone. Anyways, you can build it. You can from scratch, or you can buy it, and that's the beauty of this. Is like you can do it yourself. So the reason I say that I know I'm good with hands with CoinKite is that they are cyberpunks, and we'll get into that a little bit later. I have something very in-free on that one. But take what I say with a grain of salt, because CoinKite is a crypto community, and that's a good point. The CoinKite is a community, not just a company. And as everyone in crypto should say, don't trust, verify. So what does that mean? It means do your own research. It means verify everything and trust no one. And the fact that you can build a coin card or a cold card from scratch on your own means you don't have to trust anybody. It means you can just completely do it on your own. And so even if you're new to Bitcoin or the crypto space, cold card is an excellent entry point. I have learned the best way to learn something is through direct experience. Now, this is coming from 3G himself. I want you to say every time it says on here, that's 3G talking, bro. You can read and talk to AI all you want, but it's your actual hands, brain, and self using the device that's what helps you grasp it fully. And that's really the point of this. Is like, I was really afraid to do like let's get, because there are tons of like articles online that are just basically this: how to do this. And I didn't want to go through those because a lot of times those people don't actually, they're basically me. They don't have the device, or they don't own the device. Well, the person who wrote this article, I know, owns the device and actually went through the setups to get these done. So let's say, don't let the cold card intimidate you. A Bitcoin beginner can use the Bitcoin paranoid. Even if they're Bitcoin paranoid, they have docs that will walk you through it. So when they say they are talking about CoinKite, or Cold Card, their website, blah, blah, blah. We'll get into that later. They have two models, the Q and the MK4. There are older models as well, but they're not even currently for sale. So we're going to worry about, so basically he's saying we're worrying about the two models that you can purchase today. That's what he's saying. So the MK4, MK4 is off by default. It's a security feature, not a flaw. The fact that, and what's up, bro, Civ? Let's go. Alright, so the fact that it's a Bitcoin only device is also a feature. Even if you're not technically a Bitcoin maximalist, having a Bitcoin only device is way more secure just because it's simple and pure. And when we say simple and pure, we mean simple and pure in the crypto side, cryptography side. Once you start getting into the way a lot of altcoins like Ethereum and stuff work, they work completely differently to Bitcoin. So then they need additional forms of security. Like Monero, it works completely different than Bitcoin. It needs additional. So just having Bitcoin on a device means you have more simplified security measures, meaning less loopholes, less things to have to worry to go wrong. And he says it is sound money without any alt or shit coins to deal with. And he's got a good point there. This allows you to have a Bitcoin specific wallet. Like I always have a Bitcoin savings account. MK4 could be your Bitcoin savings card. And so here are the specs. Now, it's a 128 by 64 pixel OLED. It's got a keypad, sliding cover. It's NFC V compatible chip. It's using an ultra secure chip. It's using a secure on board chip or something like that. USB connector, air gap sneaked net or sneaker net, got an NFC tap, and a virtual disk, which is your storage. So key storage, some hardware wallets just use and trust a main microprocessor for things like key storage. The MK4 uses two elements. So it uses the ATEC SIGI 608 and the Maxim's DS28C36B. I do like how Maxim's is set up better. Like, it's just easier to say than ATEC C. So to store the critical master secret, it's a 24C phrase with the BIP39 wallet. So that is been a long-term trusted wallet system. And now, genuine versus caution lines. So beware of the evil maids. Imagine you're staying in a hotel and you leave your laptop or hardware wallet in your room. An attacker, the evil maid, comes in while you're gone, like a real maid might do, and tamper with your device without your knowledge. In the crypto world, this would mean things like installing malware or a backdoor onto your wallet or computer, swapping your device for an identical one or just a compromised one, logging all your keystrokes or passphrases entries, or even sniffing for a keylogger that's already on your device, altering the firmware so that your private keys and pins are leaked later. And by this, like firmware and stuff like literally updating your device into a firmware that they have custom made. So code cards can help mitigate these attacks because they are tamper evident. He says tamper evident bags with seals. So if someone tries to open or swap your device, it's easier to notice. There's a power on verifications like the Brick Me pin, which destroys the device if the wrong pin is entered. And a lot of people freak out about that, and at the same time, it's like, it's Bitcoin. You'll have your private key, your mimic key, your storage key somewhere else offline. So you better be another wallet of any kind, insert your key again, and reclaim your Bitcoin. You didn't actually lose anything. You just lost the device. So that's kind of the beauty there. And then it has secure elements that are offline only operation via the microSD that is air gapped, reducing exposure to the malicious softwares. And then there's dice roll entropy for seed generation, letting you verify your seed's randomness, and Duress pins that can display decoy wallets if coerced. So there are different pins that you can set up that will just give fake wallets, and that's actually a really smart move, because then you can comply without releasing your device to an attacker who might be a little more knowledgeable about cryptocurrency. So now, anti-phishing words. So, as you can guess, some of this stuff is strictly security. A lot of the dice rolls and things like that, it is security without like an attacker or whatever. That's just common machine security. So anti-phishing words, let's go into it. Just like email, you could be phished with a hardware wallet. The MK4 rectifies this by the use of anti-phishing words. The purpose is to ensure you won't be tricked or compromised or with a fake device. So when setting up your MK4, you'll choose a pin that's split into two parts, a prefix and a suffix. So after entering a prefix, the device displays two random looking words, your anti-phishing words, before prompting you for the suffix. These words are unique to your pin and device. If they ever change unexpectedly, it may indicate tampering or clone attempting to steal your pin. Kind of nice. So you don't even put in the full pin. Put in half your pin, boom, something happens. And then you can decide to put in the rest of your pin or not. So physical security. Unfortunately, in the crypto space, some of us may endure real physical fights. Like the $5 range attack is getting that. So cold card devices have these scenarios in mind, include things like physical tampering and forensic level attack setup. So probe attacks involve bypassing normal software defenses and going straight to the hardware itself. The goal of a probe attacker is to just extract secrets directly from memory, like the flash strip or the secure element. Probing involves things like attaching wires or needles to the circuit board to monitor electrical signals, measuring voltage fluctuations to infer what's happening inside the secure element, and oftentimes that's done through USB. But nowadays there are actual error-based devices that can actually pick up on them as well without USB, which is really fucking creepy. Or using techniques like laser fault injection or side channel attacks to just bypass the protections completely. So the MK4 is designed to resist probing. First off, case is clear as a security feature. This way you can always see what's inside. Alright. Other probing MK4 features is a strategic trace layout and chip placement and tight integration between components. It's designed on the motherboard to be hard to probe. The code card MK4 doesn't have a factory reset or backdoor on purpose. This is why it is so important to know and write down your PIN. If you lose your PIN, your wallet will be permanent brick. The only thing you can do at that point is recycle it as e-waste. Why? Because the intentionality of this is so that you can't reset it, and no one else can either. Not hackers, not law enforcement, not CoinKite, no one. This is self-custody. This is the part where it said you are the bank. MK4 also supports shoot these labels. Whether you're in a dire situation or ensuring the device never leaks a secret, you know exactly where to aim. Air gap. And many hardware wallets available are exploited through compromised USB connections or infected computers. Your cold card never needs to be inserted to a computer via USB. Instead, use a USB block or portable battery pack to just charge it. And there are people that have actually built like these things where you can plug in a USB and then like connect wires and stuff to use an actual battery to charge one of these. So you do everything. You choose and confirm your PIN. You learn your anti-phishing words. You create stress and brick me pins if desired. Create a brand new 24 seed phrase using the cold card's built-in true random number generator, and then import your existing seed phrase. So, including receive a partially signed Bitcoin transaction file on a micro SD card. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying the learn, Broseph. So you're going to be able to sign into the cold card, also export the signed transaction back to the card, and then broadcast it on a separate internet connected device. So if you don't trust the PRNG, literally generate entropy with physical dice rolls for maximum verification. So there's a second way around that as well. What is entropy? Now we've covered entropy, enthalpy, and entropy before, so let's break it down simply. In the context of Bitcoin and cryptography, entropy simply means randomness, the unpredictability used to generate secure private keys. Think of entropy as raw ingredients for creating a wallet seed phrase. The more random the entropy, the more secure the wallet. Man, this guy's got the knowledge, right? How to protect our assets. That's right, Broseph. Not just protect your assets, hold them at the same time. We're going over the cold card. Right now, we've been going over the cold card MK4. I want to keep calling it MK2 or K2. It's MK4. So now, PSBT stands for partially signed Bitcoin transactions. So the way your Bitcoin transactions remain fully air-gapped, whatever stage you're at, construction, passing, or signing, your private keys never need to be exposed. It also goes something like create a transaction on a separate device, like Sparrow Wallet or your laptop, and I'm gonna show you guys a wallet later that should be able to do something like that. Save it to the micro SD card, insert it into your code card, sign it, export it back to your, put the SD card back into your laptop, boom, broadcast it. Done. Roasted. Now we're gonna go over the Q. Yes, the Q. Now to go over the Q, it's pretty much gonna be like, what's the difference between A and B? So the Q can be seen as the big sibling to the MK4, a Swiss bank account in your pocket. And I love that phrase. If the MK4 is your savings account, the Q is your Swiss bank account. So the Q stands for the keyboard, as in it's in QWERTY. Entering passphrases, navigating menus, and verifying details just got a whole lot more comfortable for most people. Let's break it down of what sets the Q apart. So here's what makes the Q different. Full QD keyboard. Makes entering passphrases, labels faster and safer. Large color screen. Easier to verify addresses, transactions, and seed word. Improved UI. More intuitive interface for frequent usage. That's the difference. First one, the MK4 is not designed for frequent use. It was designed for storage. This one is designed for use. That is a huge difference. I know it don't really sound like much of a difference, but think about it. You got one that's specifically designed to hold shit for a long time, securely, safely, in many different situations, in a safe manner. Then you have another one designed to basically be the everyday user, the one that you're gonna spend. A long time ago, we did an episode where I was talking about best practices of Bitcoin. I was like, you have a Bitcoin savings wallet, you have a Bitcoin not savings wallet, and you have a Bitcoin live wallet. These two devices allow you to make that happen. Again, later I will show you a live wallet or a hot wallet for your phone, so you can have the power, and on your laptop or desktop, so you can have the power of the quadratical power of Bitcoin. I know that sounds strange, but yeah, there's a duo, trio, quadruple, and is it quintuple? I don't know how to say that. Anyways, back to the Q. So it's designed for longer passphrases, or the keyboard helps with the longer passphrases. It's a lot more comfortable, and it makes people kind of feel like a power user. I know he says more comfortable for power users. While like what I'm saying is this one will make you feel more comfortable with it, and it will make you feel more like a power user. But he is not wrong. It is a lot easier for power users to use. It's ideal for managing multiple wallets and frequent signings. It has a full QR scanner, a full QR code scanner. Nice. Just directly scan addresses of those PSBTs directly. No micro SD needed no more. Built-in NFC. Tap to send. Addresses interact with tap signers like SATS card, which is one we're going to get over later. Same hardcore security. I'll keep wanting to say hard-coded. No compromise versus the MK4, meaning it's got the same secure elements and features. Premium build and experience. Feels more like a professional tool and less like a calculator. Rah. The first one, the MK4, it feels like a calculator. Is what he's saying. What he's saying. Alright. So the Open Dime. Now, the Open Dime, as you can see, it's a tiny little device. Okay. An Open Dime is, in its essence, a physical Bitcoin. It's like akin to handling someone cash in real life. Another way to look at it is like the Bitcoin bearer bond. Whoever physically holds the Open Dime holds the Bitcoin stored on it. Aesthetically, it looks like bare bones thumb drive. Trust is minimalized yet cryptographically secure. So yes, you have to do trust. There's money in there. They have a way to know if it's been used or not. Nice, look into that. So it's as little trust as possible. You can also treat this like a Bitcoin piggy bank. Kind of neat. Whenever you want to spend the Bitcoin, you'll need to unseal it to reveal the private key. Here's how it works. Plug it in. It shows a QR code and Bitcoin address. Load it. Then Bitcoin to that address. Verify. Check that address online or offline. Like use an Explorer or your node. Transfer. Give the Open Dime to someone else. When again, take and plug it in. Look at the address before taking it. Scan it. Check it online and verify money is on it before taking it. Or changing. Right? Then they can spend. They can do it again. Just keep sharing it in the same manner as a sealed technology. Or break that seal, back to private key, and sweep the funds. Nice, and it's pretty simple. And like we're gonna show a picture of it later. So hold on. SATS card. So the SATS card takes the Open Dime to the next level, and it's like a modern gift card. It uses NFC instead of USB, rather than just having one private key. You can store up to 10 on a SATS card. Now the one I got my dad, it only stores one. So this is cool. So to get it up and running, you tap the card on your phone with an app like Nunjuk, deposit Bitcoin into the address, and then you give it to somebody or keep it for yourself. The recipient can tap and verify the balance. Keep it sealed like a bearer bond, or unseal it and generating a new deposit slot and revealing the private key to sweep the funds. Once the slot is used, it is no longer trustworthy. So, like, these are more like he said, a gift card. And I am going to show you the one I got my dad, because that one's more like a spend card. If that makes sense. And the way we do it with my dad is I have his public address, and I just send Bitcoin to it whenever like we're doing whatever we're doing. And he holds it like a credit card. Now, I think he has it in his safe. Perfect. But he holds it like he has credit cards in his safe too, you know what I mean? So it's like he holds it just like a credit card. Now this, you would hold it like almost as if you had like a bond or something. Like he says here, it's like a bearer bond. You're keeping it sealed. And that's the best way to look at it. This allows you to have like I don't know, device, like these require another device to use, right? But at the same time, the spin key, everything that you need is kind of built in, which makes it really easy, really handy. And understanding if it's been used or not is as simple as, is it open? It don't get any easier than that. Now, this allows you to win with Bitcoin self-sovereignty. Each one of CoinKite's devices brings you a step closer to Bitcoin self-sovereignty. No matter what you choose, you will be protected, and the value of your Bitcoin is protected. That much. Well, he says, and the value of Bitcoin, meaning it's also protected that much more. So if you enjoyed this article, please consider putting money into his piggy bank. He gives you a couple addresses down here. And I am going to give you guys an additional address of his. This right here is his Bitcoin address, his BTC address. If you guys want to send the writer of that article, the man who actually took the time out to do this actual stuff, like he actually had to put all this stuff together and figure it out, and these are big steps. These are big steps, and I mean that literally. For a lot of people, just getting the device is a large step. Taking the next step to actually set it up and everything. Most people don't do it. Most people don't do it. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted him to make this article. He had one of these, like, he's used OpenDime. I've seen him use OpenDime. We've talked about OpenDime a billion times. But I knew, he told me he had one of these, I think the MK4. And a long time ago. And I kind of forgot that he had it. And we were talking, and he was like, oh yeah, I still have it. I don't think I've set it up. And I was like, bro, you haven't set it up? Which gave me the ideal of today. If you haven't set it up, it means we can set it up. And if we can set it up, that means write an article, we can teach other people. And that's kind of the ideal here. Is him and I together are trying to teach you guys how to set up these wallets from CoinKite. How to get all this set up. Now, I'm going to show you, again, an additional wallet that's just like the Sats card. So that's where the other company comes in. And I do have some more stuff to show you to help you out. Like where to find this stuff. We are on Twitch. Okay. So, again, here's the QR. Check it out. It is a very good article. And these are simple devices. Now, if you look down, he has other articles. What crypto is cash, crypto guide, everything the beginner needs by Mike. So good articles even in the bottom. Okay, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. So this is the main ones we were talking about. Secure your Bitcoin. Again, the MK4, I've actually seen people build one on their own. So it's Bitcoin only, verifiable source code, easy to use, ultra secure. Buy it now, get it going. And so these kind of let you see them and stuff, and see what I mean by it's clear and you kind of don't have to worry. And even like their silk screen makes it really easy. So nice. And then when you see like all the same stuff, okay, cool. And it really is that simple. It's really that simple. It's these two little devices. I mean, like, people might even think this is like new age Tamagotchis or something if you just put a sticker on it. So now OpenDime, here is their website. Here's what they look like. This is that tiny little stick that you saw. That's it. Tiny little thing. And you see that little piece of metal? If that is open, then you know it's been opened. if that hole is a hole, it's been opened. And you have to break through this plastic, you have to puncture that piece of metal, and that's the method to getting the key. Puncturing that piece of metal. And you see they're comparing it to the size of a dime. Wow, it's within the width of a dime. Now you get the name, right? Okay. So the Sats card right here. I guess it's technically flipping or something. I don't know. Keeps messing up on my end. But like cash in hand, pass physical Bitcoin along multiple times, gift anonymous, trust no one, non-custodial. So it's pretty neat, right? Now, I did point out the fact that I used a different one. I really like this one. These are the ones that I got my dad, or I should say Kenneth Bozak helped me get from my dad. So my dad could be a Bitcoin holder. And we did that years and years ago. And so you'll notice a price difference. It's much more expensive. And these are a little bit more, like think of it at their own app. There's a lot more to these. So just like the difference, like this, a lot more difficult to use compared to this. And that's kind of the whole point of today's episode. We are literally showing you the 4 easiest ways to hold your crypto, your Bitcoin, besides just writing down your key inside of like a shield folio, or on a piece of metal or something. So these are the easiest. Like even the competitor to the Sats card is more complicated to use, and this one does have like a ring system, and again, they got their own app and all this other stuff, and sure, the Sats card might also work with one of their other devices, but it also works with your phone. So here is Coinomi. So this is the wallet you can get for your phone, you can get it for your desktop, you can get it for your laptop. This is a very basic hot wallet system for Bitcoin and others. This will allow you to go from just Bitcoin to having a load of different coins and stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here, and we've talked about this before. It's literally one of the best for mobile users, and besides just like straight up having like all the different wallets on your device, because this is multi-chain, it does allow you to have a lot of access in one wallet, and it even has direct wallet connect, so all sorts of different little things you can do. And I do recommend this one for quite a bit of common need. This is what most people are going to need, is this right here. Now, this website, not everyone's actually going to be able to use this. Now, this is a centralized exchange. There's a ton of decentralized exchanges, and we'll probably do another episode on them because there's so much more now than there have ever been before. But I'm not going to lie, a decentralized exchange, most people kind of get screwed over the first few times they try to use it, simply because they're not kind of used to using an exchange at all. And I know this is kind of odd to do or whatever. This is a global exchange, they claim. They allow anonymous users, so they allow anyone to get some basic features. Like I think you can do spot trade with anonymous accounts, but if you want to do like actual market, you want to put leverage on that, or you want to do something that might actually cost you money, you want to get a loan, you want to do all sorts of the other things, participate in some of the various different events and organize things they do, you'll have to have an account. Now, they don't allow everyone to have an account, like a full-on account to get all the features. And that's kind of, I think, to me, that's nice. Because I know a lot of people, they just want one basic thing. They want to be able to enter and get the coin they want. That's what they want. They want to be able to enter and trade the coin they want to trade. Simple as that. And guess what? This is one of the ones that's going to let most people be able to do that across the globe. That is what we got. That's it. Yeah. That's as simple as it has to be. And I know, like, for a lot of people, that right there is probably still, more than they're willing to even handle. So, if I had to say anything, I would say that I do understand it is a bunch to unpack. You can always return to this video, though, and that article to help you continue as you go along with help. So as you need to set up your wallet, as you need to find your wallet, as you need to find your wallet, as you need to set up your wallet, as you need to get money on your wallet, as you need to use your wallet, well, you have the resource now. Come back, show up, listen to it, read it, do it. Because testing and trying with a little bit, it's the perfect way to go. Sure, get the MK4, deal with it, put a little bit of money on it. Then get the Q, deal with it, put a little money on it. Learn how to move money from the MK4 to the Q, and the Q to the MK4. Then by then, you should have your Coinomi already. So you would probably put your Coinomi on, waiting for the device to show up. And then you get everything set up and you just plan with it, you get some stuff on it. Maybe because Coinomi, there's a lot of people that can enter right there on Coinomi. You got HTX, enter, get some stuff, prepare. So that way when your MK4 shows up, you have a way to transfer Bitcoin and you have some Bitcoin to transfer to. When your Q shows up, you have some Bitcoin to transfer to it. When your Sats card shows up, you have Bitcoin to put in there. When your open dime shows up, you have Bitcoin to sit in there. And think about it like this. You can have open dimes with set amounts of crypto that it'd be like a year's worth supply of money, so to speak. It could be, well, this open dime is my 401k, this open dime is my health insurance, this open dime, this Sats card is all of my insurances. And think about that. You could have one Sats card, 10 accounts or 10 slots. That's 10 insurance claims. You get a wallet, you fill it, build up your insurance. You need to use it, you open it, use that slot, use that crypto, you move it over to your Coinomi, and then you use it. You actually use it. Maybe if you have Cash App, you send it over to Cash App. You get it. And then you still have 9 more slots to fill up the next one. For the next whatever, for your insurance. These little Sats, the tangent like I showed is just like the Sats card, but the tangent is like reusable. So you could have like a tangent that handles specific things. Like, oh, that's the house card. When we need to buy something for the house, we just use a tangent. And we put little bits of money here and there, and then it builds up, and then, oh, well, we need to get, we need to get this repaired, we need to get that repaired. Oh, let's check the tangent. Oh, yeah. Tap it with the ring, tap it with your phone. Oh, yeah. Boom, bro, let's go use it. And kind of use it live with your device and use it on the fly. And together, you can have your savings, you can have all of your different insurances covered. You can have all of your different little bits of money you need separated. And it's all Bitcoin. And then you still have your Swiss bank account, that Q. Then you still have your full bank account, that Coinomi. Then you still have that exchange, HTX, decentralized exchanges. You're ready to go. You just don't even realize it yet. The only difference right now between like where you are at and where you could be at is just going back, hitting those QRs and getting the stuff and get started. Like literally. That's what's stopping you right now, is just get started. Well, that sucked. Huh. Set to the right spot. It did cover the whole screen, and then it just disappeared.
Yo, did you think you know? Did you think you hold? Did you think something new? That's the goal, to see from a new degree and get the change your mind needs to find something new. Life suddenly is easy for many, but when a wall appears, sometimes up is all you see. So let 3D guide to the side, yo, where there's a door though. Just be careful on your way out, for the first step is a do-see-do. A little bit honest with something different, it's almost like he's something else. And regardless, maybe, perhaps it was that missing piece you was needing. Maybe it was that simple message you was searching. Definitely it's just in different times to defraying our mental mind, say separating us from our own mental mind. Saying, boom goes the blast of thought. Boom goes the last spark with thought. Boom goes the mental mind. Take your perspective, hit on the way out. Don't let your directive stop you when you doubt. Don't let the dire detection stop you from being. Getting excited, so the photons are delighted. Don't hesitate so we can line up the hash rate. Let me surmise the time to make a rate and reduce the face while we mine our major bets. Crypto technology like cryptographic money, while hashing your life into a set of cures. It doesn't matter, cause this was 3D changes perspectives.
Thank you for joining the show.
Please return next time for a new world of perspective. Thank you for joining the show.
Please return next time for a brand new perspective. Of perspective.
Thank you for joining the show.
Please return next time for a brand new perspective.